The Porsche 911, pronounced 911 or in German 911, is a two-door 2+2 high-performance rear-engine sports car introduced in September 1964 by Porsche AG of Stuttgart, Germany. It has a rear-mounted flat-six engine and originally a torsion bar suspension. The car has been continuously enhanced through the years, but the basic concept has remained unchanged. The engines were air-cooled until the introduction of the 996 series in 1998. The 911 has been raced extensively by private and factory teams in a variety of classes. It is among the most successful competition cars. In the mid-1970s, the naturally aspirated 911 Carrera RSR won world championship races, including Targa Florio and the 24 Hours of Daytona. The 911-derived 935 Turbo also won the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1979. Porsche won the world championship for makes in 1976, 1977, 1978, and 1979 with 911-derived models. In a 1999 poll to determine the car of the century, the 911 was fifth. 4. It is one of two in the top 5 that had remained continuously in production. The original Beetle remained in production until 2003. 5. The 1 millionth example was manufactured in May 2017 and is in the company's permanent collection. Although Porsche has used internal code numbers for each series of the 911, all models have been marketed and sold as 911S. The model series and associated internal codes are as follows: 911, 1964-1989, 930, 1975-1989, the turbocharged version, 964, 1989-1994, 993, 1995-1998, the last air-cooled 911-996, 1999-2004, all new body and water-cooled engines, 997, 2005-2012, 991, 2012-2019, all new body, 992, 2019. A series letter is used by Porsche to indicate the revision for production cars, usually on an annual basis. Citation needed. 911S have also been categorized into families based on body styles or engine enhancements. 911 Carrera, including the Carrera, Carrera S, Carrera 4, Carrera 4S, Carrera GTS, Carrera 4 GTS, Carrera T. All are available as cabriolets except the Carrera T 911 Targa, including the Targa 4, Targa 4S, Targa 4 GTS, 911 Turbo, including the Turbo, Turbo S. All are available as cabriolets. GT3/GT3 RS, a track-focused version of the 911 Carrera with a naturally aspirated engine and rear-wheel drive. No cabriolet variant has ever been produced to date. A grand touring version featuring comfort-oriented options is called the GT3 Touring and is available for the 991 and 992 generations. GT2/GT2 RS, the highest performance derivative, a track-focused version based on the Turbo with rear-wheel drive. No cabriolet version has ever been produced to date, now available as an RS model only. The 911 traces its roots to sketches drawn by Ferdinand Butzi Porsche in 1959. The Porsche 911 was developed as a more powerful, larger, and a more comfortable replacement for the 356, the company's first model. The new car made its public debut at the 1963 Frankfurt Motor Show, German Internationale Automobil Ausstellung. The car was developed with the proof of concept twin-fan type 745 flat-six engine, but the car presented at the auto show had a non-operational mock-up of the single-fan 901 engine, receiving a working unit in February 1964. 7. It originally was designated as the Porsche 901 inches, 901 being its internal project number. A total of 82 cars were built, as which were badged as 901S. 7. However, French automobile manufacturer Peugeot protested on the grounds that in France it had exclusive rights to car names formed by 3 numbers with a 0 in the middle. Instead of selling the new model with a different name in France, Porsche changed the name to 911. Internally, the car's part numbers carried on the prefix 901 for years. 7th other production began in September 1964, nor with the first 911 SS exported to the US in February 1965. 7. The first models of the 911 had a rear-mounted 130 GP, 97 kilowatts, or one Type 900-101 flat-6 engine in the boxer configuration like the 356. The engine is air-cooled and displaces 1,991 cc, 2.0 L, as compared to the 356's four-cylinder, 1,582 cc, 1.6 L unit. The car had 4 seats, although the rear seats were small, thus it is usually called a 2+2 rather than a 4-seater. The 356 was also a 2+2. A 4 or 5-speed Type 901 inches manual transmission was available. The styling was largely penned by Ferdinand Bootsy Porsche, son of Ferdinand Ferry Porsche. Bootsy Porsche initially came up with a notchback design with proper space for seating 2 rear passengers, but Ferry Porsche insisted that the 356's successor was to use its fastback styling. 7 prototypes were built based on Bootsy Porsche's original design and were internally called the Porsche 754 T7. 10. Erwin Komenda, the leader of the Porsche car body construction department who initially objected, was also involved later in the design. Production of the 356 ended in 1965, but there was still a market for a 4-cylinder car, particularly in the US. The 912, introduced in the same year, served as a direct replacement, offering the detuned version of 356 SC's 4-cylinder. 1,582 cc, 1.6 L, 90 GP, 67 kilowatts, 91 PS, Boxer 4 Type 616-36 engine inside the 911 bodywork with Type 901 4-speed manual transmission. A 5-speed manual transmission was optional. In 1966, Porsche introduced the more powerful 911S with Type 901-02 engine, having a power output of 160 PS, 118 kilowatts, 158 GP. Forged aluminum alloy wheels from Fuchsfelge with a 5-spoke design were offered for the first time. In motorsport at the same time, the engine was developed into the Type 900-120ths and was installed in the mid-engine 904 and 906 with an increased power output of 210 PS, 154 kilowatts, 207 GP, as well as fuel-injected Type 900-121st installed in later variants of the 906 and 910 with a power output of 220 PS, 162 kilowatts, 217 GP. In August 1967, the A-Series went into production with dual brake circuits and widened 5.5J15 wheels still fitted with Pirelli Cinturato 165 HR15 CA67 tires, $11, and the previously standard gasoline-burning heater became optional. The Targa, meaning plate in Italian, version was introduced. The Targa had a stainless steel-clad roll bar, as automakers believed that proposed rollover safety requirements by the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, would make it difficult for fully open convertibles to meet regulations for sale in the U.S., an important market for the 911. The name Targa came from the Targa Florio sports car road race in Sicily, Italy, in which Porsche had several victories until 1973. The last win in the subsequently discontinued event was scored with a 911 Carrera RS against prototypes entered by Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. The road-going Targa was equipped with a removable roof panel and a removable plastic rear window, although a fixed glass version was offered from 1968. Porsche 911 2.0 Coupe, 1964, at the Porsche Museum in Stuttgart. The 911R, 1967, the 110 PS, 81 kilowatts, 110 GP. 911T was also launched in 1967 with Type 900-103 engine. The 130 PS, 96 kilowatts, 128 GP model was renamed the 911L with Type 900-106 engine and ventilated front disc brakes. The brakes had been introduced on the previous 911S. The 911R with 900-122 engine had a limited production, 20 in all, as this was a lightweight racing version with thin fiberglass reinforced plastic doors, a magnesium crankcase, twin overhead camshafts, and a power output of 210 PS, 154 kilowatts, 207 GP. A clutchless semi-automatic Sportomatic. B model, composed of a torque converter, an automatic clutch, and the 4-speed transmission was added in autumn 1967. It was cancelled after the 1980 model year, partly because of the elimination of a forward gear to make it a 3-speed. 15. The B series went into production in August 1968, replacing the 911L model with 911E with fuel injection. It remained in production until July 1969. The 911E gained 185/70 VR15 Pirelli Cinturato CN36, 16, and 6 J15 wheels. The C series was introduced in August 1969 with an enlarged 2.2-liter engine, 84 mm bore x66 mm stroke. The wheelbase for all 911 and 912 models was increased from 2,211, 2,268 mm, 87.089.3 in, to help as a remedy to the car's nervous handling at the limit. The overall length of the car did not change, but the rear wheels were relocated further back. Fuel injection arrived for the 911S, 900-110 engine, and for a new middle model, 911E, 900-109 engine. The D series was produced from August 1970 to July 1971. The 2.2-liter 911E, C, and D series had lower power output of the 911-01 engine, 155 PS, 114 kilowatts, 153 GP, at 6,200 revolutions per minute, compared to the 911S's Type 911-02, 180 PS, 132 kilowatts, 178 GP, at 6,500 revolutions per minute. But 911E was quicker in acceleration up to 160 kilometers per h, 99 miles per hour. The E series for 1972, 1973 model years, August 1971 to July 1972 production, consisted of the same models, but with a new, larger 2,341 cc 2.3L engine. This is known as the 2.4L engine, despite its displacement being closer to 2.3 liters. The 911E, Type 911-52 engine, and 911S, Type 911-53, used Bosch mechanical fuel injection, MFI, in all markets. For 1972, the 911T, Type 911-57, was carbureted, except in the US and some Asian markets where the 911T also came with MFI mechanical fuel injection, Type 911-51 engine, with power increase over European models, 130 GP to 140 GP, commonly known as a 911T/E. With power and torque increase, the 2.4-liter cars also got a newer, stronger transmission, identified by its Porsche type number 915. Derived from the transmission in the 908 race car, the 915 did away with the 901 transmission's dogleg-style first gear arrangement, opting for a traditional H pattern with first gear up to the left, second gear underneath first, etc.